In this video, you will learn 5 signs that a man is breadcrumbing you or leading you on just to keep you interested. And I'm also going to tell you exactly how to handle this manipulative dating tactic so you can turn things around or walk away with your head up. Don't go anywhere because we're starting right now. Hi everyone, I'm Dr. Antonio Borrello and I'm a psychologist and a relationship coach. This channel is all about helping you build great relationships so you can grow happy with the people you love. So if you're interested in making your love life the best part of your life, start now by clicking the subscribe button and hit the bell notification so you aren't missing anything. Okay, on to the signs of breadcrumbing and what to do about it. So breadcrumbing is a newer term for a dating tactic that has become more popular recently because of texting and social media. And basically, breadcrumbing is when someone is sporadically sending you flirtatious text messages or DMs or liking your social media posts just frequently enough so you don't lose interest and just enough to keep you wondering if they are still interested. And when you do respond and show him attention, he disappears again. Does this sound familiar? If so, you know how frustrating it is to deal with, especially when you really like someone. But don't worry, you're about to learn the 6 most common signs of breadcrumbing as well as the best ways to handle each one. So without further ado, here's the first sign. Number 1, the relationship is not moving forward. Not moving the relationship or friendship forward is the hallmark of breadcrumbing. That means that regardless of your current standing with him, he is reluctant to move forward with you. So, if this is someone that you know on social media, he's not asking to see you in real life. Or if this is someone that you've been texting, he isn't making concrete plans to get together with you. Or if this is someone you went on a date with, he isn't making plans to go on the next date. So his reluctance to move forward leaves you wondering, what does this guy want from me? If he's not interested, why does he keep texting me? And if he is interested, why isn't he asking me out? This is a common one, and I'm going to tell you exactly how to handle it. Number 2, his communications are sporadic. Another sign of breadcrumbing is when a guy texts you every once in a while, but not consistently. So he might text you tonight and make some conversation with you and lead you to believe that he wants to see you. This primarily happens when he wants to check in to see if you will respond and if you're still interested. And when he finds out that you are, his ego is fulfilled and you don't hear from him again for 2 weeks. And then he texts again. It's like an annoying cycle that goes around and around. Number 3, he microcommunicates. Microcommunicating is the digital equivalence of nodding and saying hello to a person as you pass them on a busy street or in the hallway. It's like you're acknowledging their presence, but not caring enough to really communicate and catch up with them. So it's the digital equivalence of a nod. It takes the smallest amount of effort. For example, he is completely missing and not in communication or texting you. Then he's suddenly in touch again after you post a hot picture of yourself on Instagram and he sees that other guys are liking it. Then he slides into your DMs or texts you because he needs an ego boost and he wants to see if you're still there. Oh, and here's another example. He sends you random videos or selfies, but he never says your name in the video because he probably sent the same picture or videos to several people. It's so lame. Number 4, his messages are vague and meaningless. His texts and communications always seem to have a vague message to them, but you never really know what they mean. For example, he will say that he misses you and that you should hang out soon, but never make concrete plans. Or his messages are meaningless, usually saying things like, "What are you up to?" or "What's up?" The messages lack substance and are just there to pull you back in when he feels like you're drifting away. So he keeps the conversations on a surface level, never going beyond the typical flirty type conversations. So he's never asking you questions that are meant to help him get to know you on a more personal level. Oh, and it's always through text or social media. He's not picking up the phone to call you and really connect. Number 5, he makes plans but is always canceling on you. These are the worst breadcrumbers. These are the people who will actually go so far as to schedule a date or a time to meet, and then at the very last minute, something comes up. And his reasons seem legitimate, like having to travel again for work, and you really can't argue with them. The truth is, if they've canceled on you more than once, there's something else going on. Number 6, He always comes around just as you begin to lose interest or move on. Just when you've decided to forget about him and move on, he reaches out to you again. And this probably happens because he's watching your social media and maybe he gets a hint that you've moved on, or he sees that you've been going out, or perhaps you've posted a photo with a male friend. Whatever the case, he senses a change and then he's back at it again, trying to compliment you and to flirt with you. And make no mistake about it, this is done on purpose. He wants to keep you interested because it tends to boost his ego and give him the option of being with you if nothing else pans out. Okay, so now you know he's been breadcrumbing you. How do you best handle it? Well, keep watching because you're going to learn exactly how to deal with his breadcrumbing, and that starts with understanding his motivation for doing this. Oh, and by the way, leave a comment if you know any breadcrumbing signs that I may have missed. Okay, so in order to best deal with his breadcrumbing, you have to understand why he's doing it. See, modern technology like texting and social media have made breadcrumbing and leading someone on very easy to do. But why? Well, it's because it only takes a second for someone to send a text or to like your post or to watch your story. And because it's not happening face to face, it's very impersonal and they can hide behind their devices. They don't have to see you or talk to you to do it. Think about it. Before social media and texting, the only way you could lead someone on was if you had reason to see them frequently, like if you worked with a person or went to school with them or lived near them. Then perhaps you could lead them on. But now, all you need is a smartphone and a social media account. And so this has become very common. But what is he getting out of this? Why is he doing this? Well, quite simply, he needs the attention. People who engage in breadcrumbing are doing so because their self-esteem is impacted by how much attention they can get from others. They have this emptiness inside and they don't feel comfortable or confident unless they get constant reassurance from others. So the more attention they get from potential partners, the better they feel. Now, most men are not thinking, oh, my self-esteem is down. I need a boost, so let me reach out to these 4 women. No, I don't think that they're doing that. I just don't think that they realize or understand what they're doing, or maybe they don't know how interested you are. Now, on the other hand, if a guy knows that you are interested and that you want a relationship with him, and then he breadcrumbs you, that's when it becomes manipulative. No one should play with other people's emotions to get validation. In other words, if you know that someone likes you and wants a relationship with you, but you're not interested, you're not going to purposefully give them breadcrumbs and lead them on. Anyone that does that is obviously not worried about hurting other people. And that is important to remember when deciding on how to handle it. So, what do? First, if you don't think that they're being manipulative, but instead they're just not that great at communicating, you can respond to their breadcrumbing by trying to make direct plans. So when they text you with something like, hey, or hey, how are you? You can respond directly by saying, I'm great, and then add, I don't have plans for Friday evening. Would you like to get together? Now, if he says that he can't, he should offer you a better alternative or a better time. If they don't commit to another time, such as I can't on Friday, but I can on Saturday, then you have to decide if you want to wait for more crumbs or if you should simply end it then and there. When you put them on the spot, they're either going to make plans or they're telling you that they're not really interested. On the other hand, if he knows how you feel and what you want, yet he tries to breadcrumb you, then it's probably best to confront him directly. Let me give you an example and then I'll tell you exactly what to say. So let's say that you've been kind of dating someone. Perhaps you've been on several dates and he knows you are interested in trying to start a relationship or something serious. But this guy starts to go cold on you. He isn't texting or calling like he used to, and he's taking days and days to respond to you. Well, then you know that he's stringing you along, and this is exactly what you say. The next time he texts you and says, hello, or how are you? You respond to him by saying, this is getting boring, or this is getting old, and that's it. Yes, that's it. Now, I know that sounds harsh, and every time I tell someone to do that, they look at me like I'm crazy. But think about it. You are telling him that he's boring you. And what do you think that does to him? You're not angry or mad or pouting. You are telling him that he is boring you. And no one wants to be boring. Then, of course, he's going to be responding with a question mark, or he's going to follow up on that one and act all confused. And that's when you need to be direct and tell him that you don't think that you're on the same page. You are letting him know that you know what's going on and you're not accepting any more of that. You're interested in a serious relationship and this one is not meeting your standards. So then he either finds a way to change and prove it to you, or he leaves you alone. What about the guy who is always canceling on you last minute? The truth, I don't care how busy a man is. If he's interested, he will find the time or he will make the time for you. And if he doesn't, then a relationship or dating you might not be a high priority for him. So what do? Well, this is a situation that needs to be confronted directly. Not bringing it up or addressing it directly will only lead to it happening again and probably end up with you getting ghosted. So when a guy has canceled on you or flaked out on you, being direct and upfront is a sign of confidence and maturity. And if he can't handle it, then he probably isn't someone that you could get serious with anyway. So when he texts you that he can't make it for the second time or that he needs a rain check, you could say something like this. That's too bad. I was looking forward to seeing where this went. Perhaps we're not on the same page. I need a man who wants a more serious and consistent relationship, and leave it at that. When you do that, you send him a clear message. I don't have time or energy for someone who isn't all in and giving 100%. Look, I know breadcrumbing situations are not easy to deal with. And when you really like someone, you want to give them every chance possible to show you that they want you. So it's easy to rationalize his behavior and hope that giving him one more chance will change things. Unfortunately, they probably won't. The good news, if you confront him about it and he really doesn't want to lose you, he's going to find a way to prove it to you. And if he doesn't, well, that simply means that you can move on to the relationship that you deserve. And speaking of getting the relationship you deserve, check out this video that tells you the things a man will do only when he is truly in love. Or click here to see the video that YouTube thinks that you'll like. I'll see you in the next video.